Hey guys, this is James Cash with Hero Realty Group and Real Estate Brokers of Alaska. I'm coming at you with some market stats. Buckle up those seatbelts, because if you got time to drink the green tea, you got time to know about the market. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Alrighty, so this is for the Anchorage area only, does extend out into Eagle River. We're gonna skip the weekly update. I'm gonna give it in brief because I wanna get to something bigger. So we are going to compare 2017 to 2018 in the residential sector, single family homes in the Anchorage area, see how those years stack up against each other with MLS stats. Also, we are going to go over the AEDC's last report. That is the Anchorage Economic Development Center. So we're gonna give you what happened in 2018, where we fall year to year, and the projections for 2019, and it is looking good, folks. All right, so buckle those little seatbelts, strap in. I'm gonna talk fast because I can ramble for days and days and days, but I'm not gonna do that to you. Before we hop in, we got a couple new agents. Dustin Lohr just came to the team. He's been licensed for 5 years. Courtney Foose is coming on Monday. Congratulations, Courtney Foose. You are gonna do amazing in real estate. You're awesome, I love you. Dustin Lohr, baller photo right there. Courtney Foose, also baller photo right there. You guys are gonna kill it, so welcome. We love you. Let's get into it. I am briefly just gonna talk about the weekly update, just in case you missed it. I will throw the stats in the link in the description below. The short on the weekly update is we were down last week in active sold and pended properties, just a smidge, no real big difference. Ever so slightly down, ever so slightly, so don't even worry about it. Crude went up $4 this week, so good job WTI crude. Get even higher, baby. Interest rates for a 30-year fixed mortgage went down ever so slightly. As always, get to your lender because they are projected to go up, so get to your lender. All right, so as always, we're gonna throw the stats up on the screen. All right, so as always, we're gonna throw the stats up on the screen. Feel free to pause it while I ramble on. Otherwise, you can click the link below. Everything I'm saying is gonna be in those links, so let me ramble, just look at the stats, let this man talk, and you can click those links afterwards. And also the full report for the AEDC is in the link in the description as well, so click it if you wanna read it in depth. They do a much better job at explaining some of these things than I can do in short, but please read it. It is very interesting. I do love it. I'm an economics freak, so check it out. All right, so we are talking about 2018 to 2017 Anchorage area, single family homes only, condos excluded, does extend out into the Eagle River area. How did the year stack up? So you can see, boom, stats on the screen that it was a wash. For single family homes sold, we were down 21, so it's really insignificant. You can see some months we just crushed it, some months we did a little lower. So it's kind of a weird year, but basically it's a wash. According to the whole statistics as a whole, we're up just under about 1% in total for total sold volume. So year to year, 2017 to 2018, no real difference. I do like the flat line in an economy because usually you see a recession go like this, it levels out for a while and then it goes up, okay? That's economics 101. Average days on market. So these are average days on market sold, and it's a 13-month average from the time these statistics were taken. In 2017, it was 50 days on market sold average, up to 55. So we went up a little bit, about 10%, no real big difference. If I'm selling a home between 50 and 55 days, it's not that big of a difference. And to you sellers out there, it shouldn't really make a difference anyways. That's basically the same thing. 5 days. So what that signifies to me in 2018, we were probably listing just slightly higher priced homes, and or maybe the lower priced homes were less prevalent. All in all, they're pretty close. The average list price in 2017 was $383,000. The average list price in 2018 was $390K. Average sold price went up year to year. In 2017, we were sitting at $362,000 and change. It went up in 2018 to $378,000 and change. What that signifies to me is that we're selling some higher end homes. Again, these are averages. So if we're selling more $1 million homes, that's gonna trickle down into this average price range. Are you with me? You're with me. All right, inventory in months. I won't get too crazy on what absorption rate is. Investopedia has a great video and article on it. I will link it in the description below, but I'll give you the quick and dirty what you need to know. Inventory in months, AKA the absorption rate, in 2017 was 2.52. In 2018, it was 2.58. So inventory went up slightly. If you've watched my previous videos, you 100% know what both of those things are. If you don't, it basically means at the average rate at which I sell homes, how many months would it take me to have 0 homes left on the market? The closer we get to 6 months of inventory tends to favor the buyer. Why? Because homes are selling slower, there's a bunch of inventory out there, and the buyers can say, oh, I have all these homes to choose from, and it puts the ball in the buyer's court. The closer you get to 0 months of inventory means it is a seller's market. Why? Because there's not much to choose from. Things are flying off the shelves really quickly. They say between 3 to 6 months is a balanced market. 6 months plus is going to favor the buyer. 0 months, closer you get to that, is going to favor the seller. So we're sitting at about 2.58 in that middle ground. So it's a pretty balanced market. It's not really a buyer's market per se. It's not really a seller's market per se, but it's a balanced, healthy market. I like it this way. If it is a seller's market and it's closer to 0 months of inventory, things are priced super high, the prices keep going up, and it's bad for the buyer. Multiple offers are really prevalent in that market. We're still getting multiple offers right now, but I think this is a really healthy market right now. I would classify it as a very, very strong, very healthy market. As you can see from the chart, I put up the absorption rate in 2017 was 39.60%. In 2018, it dropped slightly to 38.80%. Okay, so let me elaborate a little bit more on absorption rate. So according to Investopedia, or what the average national statistics would suggest, anytime you have an absorption rate at 20% and or higher, it is a strong economy. Anytime you have it at 15% approaching 0, it is a poor or cooling economy. Guys, we're sitting at 38.80% absorption rate. That is a strong economy. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about recession and things like that. My opinion would be is that we've been such a nuts economy for so long. When we see even a slight slowdown to what would be considered a good or normal economy, people start freaking out because we've had it so good for so long. Just checking my text. Hold on. Yes, you can get an address. All right, so those are my statistics. All in all, year to year, we haven't seen much change. Again, as a whole, in just the single family market, we sold 21 less homes in 2017, so that's a flatline economy to me. Overall, I believe it was about 0.8%, don't quote me, increase in total overall volume as a whole market, so not just single family homes. Monster mash. So things are looking pretty good. Like I said, the economy's flat. Flat is better than a decline. We've been in a recession since about 2015. The projections are looking very strong for next year. There are a couple questions out there as to what the interest rate is doing, as to what the state budget is doing, as to what the price of oil will do. All those are major factors, so there's a lot of uncertainty in the air. I will get to my opinion a little bit later, but we are done with those stats right there, folks. Let's jump into the AEDC report for 2018. All right, so I'm just gonna touch on some bullet points from the AEDC report that I find relevant and applicable to real estate in general. Please click the link below, read the whole report to extrapolate your own opinions and ideas from them. All in all, it's looking pretty good for 2019. I will probably pop some slides on the screen as I speak and I ramble, but I'm just gonna go over the bullet points again that I find to be relevant to us. All right, so we're talking about employment in 2019. We are projecting to increase jobs by 300% total, which is awesome. It's not that much, but it's trending in the right direction, which is up. Yes, in 2018, we did lose some jobs. However, in 2017, we lost 2,100 jobs. In 2016, we lost 2,900 jobs. I believe the total number in 2018 was 1,200 jobs lost. So you can see, though we did lose some jobs, it's not at the rate which we have seen in previous years. So that is a good thing. We're slowing down. 400 of those were from national franchises going under, such as Sears, Sam's Club, Blockbuster, Toys R Us. There was nothing we could have done about those jobs anyways. They were going to be gone and out of the state. Construction added 200 jobs in 2018. That's a good sign for us folks in the real estate industry. Anytime we get more construction workers, there's more demand for construction. That's awesome. Population. How many people we got here, folks? How many people we got in Anchorage? From 2017 to 2018, we experienced a net loss of 2,118 residents. Not that bad. That's a 0.7% downward shift. In 2018, the population was in June 295,365. We are projected to stabilize this year and maintain, and we're going to slightly increase to 295,500. So we're going to gain about 145 people. Yeah, 145 folks. So a lot of times when I do this video, I compare it to the year of 2013 because it was such an epic year for Alaska, especially in real estate, mostly due to the price of oil and an economic boom. And that year, we topped out at just about 301,000. So we have about 6,000 less people today in Anchorage. That's not bad considering 2013 was the height of our economy in recent years, and we're only 6,000 people down. That ain't bad at all. So all in all, from a peak year, we are only down 1.8%. If someone told me, James, from your best year to your worst year, if your job was the same, we're only gonna cut your pay 1.8%, I'd say, sweet, take that money, just to put it in perspective. Unemployment rate, from 2017 to 2018, the unemployment rate reduced by 0.1%, so basically about the same, but a positive trend in the right direction. So we went from 5.7% down to 5.6% unemployment. Although here in Anchorage, we are below the statewide unemployment rate of 6.8%, we are above the national average of 3.9%. So all in all, that's not that bad. And one thing I would like to add, please note that the rest of the lower 48, even Hawaii, they're killing it right now. They're doing it, it's just an economic boom in the rest of the states. And a lot of times our economy is really different than the rest of the 49 states. The last time we had a huge boom in 2013, the rest of the nation was actually in an economic recession. So just put that in perspective. The Alaskan economy is a little bit different from the rest of the nation, and it should be. We're Alaska, we're better. Sorry. Preliminary numbers from Q3 in 2018 would suggest an unemployment rate even further reduced to 4.9%. Again, those are preliminary numbers. Hard time saying preliminary, but we're trending in the right direction, and hopefully those numbers are accurate and we're trending towards that national average, or maybe even 0%. Who knows? Full disclosure, it's really hot in this room. I actually chugged an entire cup of coffee before I started this video, and I'm about 2/3 of the way through this green tea, and I'm feeling good right now. Talking about inflation rate. All right, so as of June 2018, prices did go up by about 2.1%. That was our inflation rate. While we are historically low with our inflation rate, it was higher than previous years from 2013 to 2017. Please read that report by the AEDC. It explains in great detail about our inflation rate. I could explain it to you, but it would probably take me about 5 minutes to do a clear and concise job. So just read that as opposed to me giving it to you. Oil and gas. So we are adding 100 jobs this year to oil and gas. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but it is the highest paid sector per person in Alaska. So it is quite a bit of money into the state. Checking my cell phone. Oil production was 509,000 barrels a day in 2018. So that was a 3.4% decline from 2017. However, we are still higher than one of our lows, which was in 2015 during that recession where oil dipped pretty low and people were freaking out. Through much of 2018, crude traded at 3-year highs. Good news for us. So here's the short story on oil and gas. As long as the price of oil remains stable and a lot of these projects that should go through this year do go through, we're sitting pretty good. There are a bunch of new development projects in the work right now. Again, please read that report. They are listed on there. You're going to want to see what they are. There is still a little bit of uncertainty with the state budget, the fiscal planning, what we're going to do about a lot of these certain things. The price of oil, the commodities market always does this number. Again, as long as oil stays north of 45, ideally around $50 a barrel, we're going to be solid. And I do imagine that production will increase this year. We have a bunch of money coming in here, investors coming in here, development projects coming in here. So things are looking good. If anyone out there fixes the price of oil, uptick it just a little bit for me. That is illegal, but do it. Woo! Getting sweaty, folks. Nope. All right, so although we are facing some uncertain economical times, here's what I'm gonna say, and again, this is just my opinion, I'm just a dude, so take this with a grain of salt. First, just remain positive, because we live here. I believe this is the greatest state in the greatest nation. If you don't, Canada's just a stone's throw away, and Sarah Palin can see Russia from her front porch. So You could take a boat or a plane. I don't know how to get to Russia, but I'm sure you can. Moral of my story is I love this state, so just remain positive. So one thing I will say is consumer confidence does play a role in the economy. If the consumer believes something, it will come to fruition. It just does. It plays a huge factor, right? If someone's like, oh, Apple's going to launch a new iPhone, and people are like, it's going to be the greatest iPhone ever. People are going to buy Apple stock. Apple stock is going to go up. Apple's going to make a lot of money. They're going to invest more money into their products, and Apple actually does perform better just because people think it might perform better, if that makes sense in a weird sort of way. So remain positive. Yeah, it's a thing. Shop local when you can. Shout out to the local business owners. I'm a local business owner, have a lot of friends who are local business owners. When you can, support local. I understand Amazon's pretty cool, but when you can, do it. Remain thrifty out there. If you don't need to buy something, maybe don't do it. Save it for a rainy day. Make some smarter purchases, such as buying a house, buying an investment property, investing in your 401k, matching it. Just make some smart decisions with your money and use it to perpetuate your future here in the state, as opposed to buying a big screen TV from Best Buy. Sorry, Best Buy. That's probably... Most people probably just to tell you spend. I'm not going to do that, so shame on you. Again, things are on the up. The AEDC is projecting overall economic growth for this year of 2019. So remain positive, and oil around 50 bucks a barrel, we're solid. In my opinion, if you want to invest in real estate in Anchorage, now is probably the time. Interest rates are probably only going to get higher, and if we do have more growth in the state, guess what? Prices are going to go up, and prices really haven't risen all that much in the last 3-4 years. So, people want to be bandwagoners with the economy. It really blows my mind, because when the economy's doing crazy good, prices get sky high, the price of homes go up, and people decide now is the time to buy. From an investment standpoint, that is actually a really awful time to buy. Going back to the whole Apple thing, if you were to buy Apple when they were just a new company, you buy that IPO and then they blow up, buy when it's low. So in my opinion, now is the time. Interest rates could rise. That's going to decrease your purchasing power, increase your monthly payment. So your ROI on the money you're going to spend is going to go down, and prices could ultimately go up. So if you want to invest, in my opinion, I could be wrong, now's the time. Lastly, I just want to speak a little from the heart. I know there's a lot of uncertainty with the politics that are going on right now. I'm not a politician. I don't want to get involved in politics or policy. That is not my job. I'm just a dude who serves the public. What I would say is, let's just be positive. We could go through some tough times. I think some cuts are necessary. We've had it so good for so long because of oil. We just don't know what's going on. We're like one of those kids right now who is a trust fund baby who's used to getting a big allowance, and that's suddenly been taken away from us, or they say, hey, you have to live off a little less money a month. What do you mean, Mom? So all in all, not a bad thing. I'm not saying get too extreme. What I am saying is we're going to make it through. We're going to be okay. And just stay positive. Be okay with some slight cuts. We're going to get through the other side. We live in the greatest state. It is so beautiful outside that I do not even care. Okay? Beautiful. So just stay positive. This was Ferrande weekend. Hopefully you get out there and get to see some dogs pulling people on sleds. Super exciting. I grew up in Nome, saw it all the time. It's a beautiful thing. But thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. My team appreciates it. I just want the consumers to be informed on what the state is doing with real life numbers. Because folks, I did not make these up as much as I wanted to. I thought about saying we had a 9,000% increase in the economy this year, but I figured someone would call me out, so I didn't do it. Folks, if you are not following us on the social media, come on. You can follow us on the Facebook on facebook.com/Hero Realty Group. You can follow us on the IG, the Instagram, my jam, a place where I love to hang out, at Hero Realty Group. I'm a bad winker. You can follow me on Twitter for my personal advice as it pertains to real estate and finance in the state of Alaska. Folks, at James F. Cash. And lastly, thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, give a share, give a like. Go out there, support the economy. We are doing great, folks, doing real good. I know it seems like things are really scary, but when you look at the actual numbers, especially in real estate, especially with what the AED said, especially with what the AEDC said, it's not that bad at all. In fact, it's pretty good. I don't know why people are freaking out. You know, it's like if you had $1 million and someone said, "Hey, we're going to take 5,000 from you." All right, that's it. Thank you so much. This was James Cash with Hero Realty Group and Real Estate Brokers of Alaska. We love you. We'll see you next week. Happy for rendezvous. I'm out. Alrighty, Roo then.